Alright, you guys. S&P 500 time and date. Here we have the S&P 500 1 hour candle. Notice how it didn't really move or go up. 11:45, 12:30 was your time to pay attention to. And you can see here we have 11, 12. Notice how in that gap, 11:45, 12:30 got rejected below my indicator. We need to shoot above this, create support above this to go on top. Yeah, that's what I said. Nothing really was gonna happen throughout the nighttime. I didn't really see the market pushing on up. It was just going. It was waiting for this data to come out. That's why I didn't really see it dropping out. Like I said, more dropping on down, and by that really just doing some sort of little push on down, touching above this 50 Fibonacci right here, which is your 6,605. But as you can see right now, the market is waiting for the news. But what I didn't like is how XRP was looking. You see, it was retracing on down a little bit. Ethereum to Bitcoin, but it was pretty much waiting for the S&P 5. For the S&P 500 to come out. And we got a minute left. Let's go to the S&P 500. One more minute left. Again, this is S&P 500. There's your time and date. Here's that weekly trend line, the 4 candle 50 Fibonacci, and the 1 hour candle Fibonacci. If we break, we're gonna come down, bullish in this area right here, 7 and 8, and then going up. Or if it's really bad and we get stuck here between 7 and 8, we then gotta continue going down, or try to break up in here, close in here for the day for a Friday. If not, oh shit, what's it? Eagle, 5:30, no reaction. So that means market, the data that came out was either neutral or in favor of the stock market. But it's still too early. It's 5:30. The market still has to take this in. CXC right now. Bitcoin CXRP. XRP still holding. Ethereum, Bitcoin. Solar candle. So notice with this fall, that's why when this happened, I was like, oh, okay, it's gonna touch that weekly trend line. And notice also with my indicator, how when it came down, it touches, bounces back up. All this was bullish right here. And then when you pay attention to what data was coming out the next day, I was like, oh, okay, the market didn't go down. And I said, as it stopped yesterday, I see my indicator telling me it's a forward candle, saying, hey, this is your entry, these are your targets, this is your stop loss. But yeah, just the way this is Thursday, 2 in the morning, and how it stayed in that area. And not just that, since we fell. and go to 1 hour candle. So since we saw this move right here, this bounce, and then how it stayed these first couple hours told me everything. That's why. And then you look to what data was coming out, and then you also gotta think it's the last full week of the month. So technically, this is very important how this week closes. And you'll go to the weekly. You see, here's where we closed last month. So today, this is still bullish. So okay, so now you're gonna have a 3 candle box forming right here. This is perfect because since there's a new area, there's a new zone, and it's so clean, it gives you your first resistance weekly wise. This week is gonna give you your support, and then, well, technically it's not gonna be. It's gonna be a weird week because it's gonna be half of a month. It didn't really end perfectly, like let's say on a weekend, like today or, anyways. So this week is gonna give you your support, and then next week is gonna be that it's gonna be your third candle. So it's gonna be very important to pay attention to what data we have midweek on a Wednesday, because even let's say your first 2 days or even 3 days are dumpy and they start testing on down, maybe on a Thursday or Friday, it could be the actual move to recover and complete this 3 candle box and shoot an up. Or again, the first 2 days could be negative. The first 3 days could be negative, and we could be holding the area, and then finally your Thursday and Friday push down further on down to this somewhere down in the region down here. The market will panicking, whatever, whatnot. But you want the panic. You want the panic in crypto. Think about it. XRP just broke its $3 key price. It emotions. All these prices are emotions. That's what they mean by key prices. It's U.S. index future extend gains after August inflation data. See, but it wasn't your strong move. That's also important right there. That's why right now, like, yeah, it's cool that's going up, but just wait till the market takes it in, and also pay attention to your 745 to 830. But anyways, first, so this candle is gonna give you your support. The next one, so since we're going up, it should be. Let me take my indicator off. Should be green, red, green. And since this data was good, quote unquote, you also got to remember that on October 1st, the tariffs start for brand drugs, I think it was, and something about trucks, along with whatever data we're getting a day before. I think that's Tuesday, right? Let me see. Yeah, along with data we get on Tuesday, that might bring the market down, along with the tariff starting Wednesday. Yeah, just something to pay attention to that. So what I normally do is I go at ChatGPT. Let's see if actually it's not able to get this right. What? One point is coming out next week that could impact the S&P 500. Also, actually no. All right. So you got the ISM manufacturing gives insight into the health of the manufacturing sectors and demand trends. That's very important if people are buying or not. A stronger than expected print could push yields up and shake the rate cuts hope. Yep. A soft print, again, they want to get sort of all right numbers. They don't want to get good numbers. In a regular market, we would. But since everything now is about the Fed, we want the Fed, it's about interest rates. What would normally be good for the market is now like, oh man, he's not going to cut interest rates because we got good news. That's pretty much how they're reacting now. Now they want to scare. They want the Fed to get scared so they could be like, oh shit, y'all know, we got to cut interest rate. This is bad. That's what they want. Anyways, auto sales and right. Initial job. This is important right here. Oh shit, along with this. Oh, okay. Hopefully that's on a Friday. Oh, hey, damn, that's gonna be interesting. Clarifying how the Fed is thinking about the future rate moves. And I wonder when this data is gonna come out, if the same day or day before. Yep, yes I do. Okay, Monday and Tuesday. ISM. Thursday. Okay. So Thursday, the forecast is often in the 222,000 to 240,000 range or similar depending on consensus. A big jump in claims signals the labor market slacks, could boost rate cuts expectation, a drop strength in the labor which may push rates up. So again, they want signs that the numbers are highish. That way they can boost the interest rate cuts. That's what they want. Thursday, various give data global development service now been trading last calendar. I was recording this, but anyways. So there's a 12-hour candle. It closes at 1. We want to see really 8-hour candle, which is going to close right now at 6. And that's a 4-hour candle too. So that's very important how it closes. We hit a resistance right now. We hit a weekly resistance, I believe that's what it is, or monthly. I think it's a monthly. No, what is it? Oh, it's a 12-hour candle. Alright, so we hit this resistance right here. We're going to close here at 6. Now this is going to be the real resistance to pass. So now as the market is going to take it in, and this breaking point right here between 6,669 and 6,650 is going to be the actual price to break above, and that's what we want the week to close to be very bullish. Otherwise, if we get stuck here from 6 to your 8:45, then the market most likely is just gonna take it in and close right here because you're gonna get some other data. We also got some data coming out, I think at 7. It's not as strong data, but still it's important data. So that could bring the market on down, and you might see then now notifications coming out. Stocks pressured by Fed rate cuts doubt new Trump tariffs. It just came in right now, so let me see what this is about. Slightly ripple across previously global market on Friday as traders cautiously await U.S. inflation data, while fresh White House tariffs on in heavily Asia borrowers and public finance concerns weigh in its global headed the first weekly loss for after U.S. President Donald Trump unveiled 100% duties on important branded drugs as well as new tariffs on goods from trucks to kitchen cabinets. These tariffs, if they don't fix them, they're gonna hit us eventually. You guys do know that these tariffs, the price that the actual wholesale, the motherfuckers that are making this shit, I think it's gone up like crazy, and they've been observing that shit. They've been saying how they haven't released this to the public to feel it. So at some point, these prices are gonna be too much for them that they're gonna have to raise prices, and you guys are now gonna be feeling it on these materials, drugs, so and so. So we still got, so if by 6:30 when we open to 8:45, if we don't break the price that I mentioned, which is your 6,650 and your 6,670. Not that we break 6,670, but we gotta close in between there. If we don't break the 6,650 and we stay stuck between there to your 6:30 and your 8:45, especially if we close a forward candle, especially close to 10 below that, then that means the market is gonna just most likely close in here, still closing bullish, like I said, for the week. But we also got 2 more days, so something to pay attention to that we could, like I said, pay attention to your first 3 days after that. So then the last 2 days, because the last 2 days are going to be very hot, your Thursday and Friday. And they start cooking up on Wednesday, and Wednesday when the tariffs hit. So it's just something to pay attention to. So 1 hour candle, but I'm going to push it back up. Again, this weekly trend line is very important. We need to close that above the weekend. So that's good that we got this good inflation data. Now we fucking have to wait from year 745. Here's that 6,650. And that weekly. So inside this block, we want to close for the week. Otherwise, if we get rejected right here, which mostly we're going to see a little resistance there. Let me see. So yeah, there it is. We need to break above that toward candle, get through it. Otherwise, see my indicator right here is telling you, hey, this is your entry and this is your target down here, and this is your stop loss. So this is a key price to pass through, so the market can still be bullish and whatnot and going up. Otherwise, like I said, 6:30 to 8:45, we don't break that area, we're still gonna start down and close here for the week. All right, cool, you guys.